My name is Pierre Wienke, coming from the Frankfurt area, basically. So we are sitting in Eschborn, and Finius is a consultancy which is on the... we are in the 25th year now, which is kind of funny. So I have multiple jubilees this year, so 20 marriage anniversary. So no, I don't want to bore you with that. The topic of the presentation is not improving its executional capability, but IT's executional capability, and this with business architecture management. It's not working. Okay, I use the arrow keys, which are not working either. Help. I'm not a technology consultant, so now it's working. No, it's working. Yeah, so basically, why do I stand here and present business architecture management to you? It's more or less our opinion that we need to improve our business architecture. We need to make it explicit in order to gain advantages for our company. This is food for thought. I not want to sell something, so just food for thought. And let's go a bit through the journey of business architecture management. Before that, a bit to me, as mentioned, Pierre Wienke. I'm the head of the Center of Excellence for Methods and Standards in Business Architecture Management and Analysis. We haven't found a shorter one yet. We are working on it. And yeah, some papers on the wall, but that doesn't really matter. It's just for the backlog. So let's start with a bit provocative expression. Our change works well. So our transformation works well, does it? According to Gartner and the McKinsey just mentioned in one of the earlier presentations, 59% of all initiatives are delayed in some way. 52% are missing their time to value target. So they are, and coming to the larger number here, around 70%, the potential is not delivered. So this is basically meaning we do initiatives, but we need to de-scope functionality. We need to prolong the way of the project time, and we need to allocate more budget or allocate more people. Although Gartner and McKinsey say this is something I encountered in my project life also. This will be done in phase 2. Has anyone ever heard or experienced a phase 2 in the project? 4 people. 5, okay. I didn't. Classical projects. In waterfall, it's a bit different. Okay, I'm a consultant. Let's play buzzword bingo. So we have priority madness. Maybe you know the product owner of the product, or maybe also the project lead comes in. We need to prioritize our requirements. We need to prioritize our work packages. And yeah, as agility doesn't mean chaos. So let's just imagine a bit taking it away. So agility doesn't mean chaos. So let's imagine we have the backlog refinement, the sprint refinement, all the rituals we have in the agile world, and some stakeholder comes in and says, "I want this this ticket, this backlog item, with the top priority for this sprint. I need this for my release because my customer says I need this." And this is just one example. So I'm currently working in an agile project, and we are reprioritizing, deprioritizing. It's pure madness. Double work. Just imagine that we develop IT solutions which are already existing. We are building something which we could use as a commercial off the shelf, so out of the box. Or as a service. Sorry for this. Maybe this is better. And just from my recent experience, we had an outsourcing manager. He's not from a consulting company. He's an internal, and he was analyzing the outsourcing potential of a specific feature. And this outsourcing potential, or no, this feature, was also in this state analyzed by the product owner at the same time. And when the product owner heard from that, he was quite angry. He was really disappointed with the whole situation. And when the IT manager has heard of it, he said, "Why? Why do we do the same work twice? Why don't you talk to each other?" Requirements guessing, my favorite. Who of you has ever heard of a requirement which is independent? You can test it, you can estimate it. It's there's no conflict in it. Okay, you're laughing. That's great. So, who has ever seen a wonderful requirement which you said, as a business analyst, this is great. I love this requirement. Some. Okay. Have you ever heard of backlog bloating? Okay. Backlog bloating is also something, it's coming together mostly with ticket anniversaries. So we are currently celebrating at my current project, the 6th anniversary of a ticket. It is still valid, 6th anniversary. And the only reason why we have the 6th anniversary, not the 10th, is because we introduced a new ticket system 6 years ago. And forward festivals. This comes a bit to descoping and deprioritization. So we're talking about, we cannot deliver this sprint, we will do it next sprint because we're waiting on a dependent project, or development, something like this. So a forward festival, 6 years. You can see this because the ticket numbers are just 2 digits. And the cost for that, there's no shortage of tools. So we're talking about, let's say, any consulting company, maybe Finius? No, I don't think so. So they come in and say, you urgently need Jira, you need a ticket system, you need to maintain an open item list, or introduce Scrum, or you need to create a task board in Miro or in any other whiteboard tool. House of Lies is a little bit provocative, I know, but this is not solving the problem. Also, there's no shortage. We have ITIL, which is the Information Technology Information Library. Yeah, we have monitoring tools, we have Agile as a methodology, project and portfolio management, IT service management, and just newly, AI. I have a German word for AI, which I don't say here. I like it. I like it a lot, but it's not the issue of having the wrong tools or having the wrong boards or maybe a development methodology. It's more about using the tools in a correct way, in a methodological way, to come from the demand to the developed system. So, and this is where those 3 bubbles come in. I named them business analysis, project management, and business architecture management. You may find these disciplines in a different way in your company. So business analysis is basically the one who is transforming the customer demand. 2 seconds. 1, 2. Test. Works. Great. Okay, that's better. So you have business analysis, the one who's transforming the business demand or the customer demand into actionable or deployable specifications, user stories, requirements, something like this. Then, on the other hand, you have project management. So these are the guys who are controlling and monitoring the change initiatives. They are allocating budget, allocating resources. And you have business architecture management, relatively new, just 15 years, roughly. Has anyone heard of this before? Great. it's always a pleasure to hear this, because most of the people I'm talking to say business architecture management is business analysis. No, it's not. It's a bit different. And I love Venn diagrams. So we are talking about synergies, finding and using synergies. So, oh, sorry, I'm not allowed to leave the box. Okay, that doesn't work. So you're somehow doing it. So the business analysts and the project management work closely together to say, okay, this is the scope, these are the requirements, these are the processes, the business objects we use, and we develop it for this specific project, product, or change initiatives. Then on the other hand, we have business architecture management and business analysis, which is basically that. I come to a definition. I love definitions. Business architecture management is the strategic view on the company. So which kind of capability do we have? What are our products? What is our value proposition? It's not that we conceptualize or architect the value proposition of the products. We just describe them and set them in relation to each other, to the strategy of the company and to this infamous word of business capabilities. But then those two guys, so the business architect and the business analyst, are working together in order to streamline, streamline the, let's say, the change in a way that we have less dependencies. We're talking about not being able to wait, not being required to wait for another initiative to come in because it's developing the same functionality. And obviously, as it's a Venn diagram, business architecture management, business analysis, and project management, when they work together in a methodological, I hate this word, methodological way, in a good way, in a modular way, in a way where the synergies are, let's say, encouraging the strength of each discipline. This is where we think every company should invest to. Definitions. So for those of you who didn't heard about business architecture and business architecture management, assisted reading. Business architecture is a structured representation of an organization's business structure in operations and strategy. So we're talking about the how is it set up, how are we earning money, and what is the direction the company wants to go to. Business architecture management is the, like IT architecture management, the method or the discipline which is conceptualizing and maintaining and applying business architecture in the company. As mentioned, no assisted reading. So business architecture is what we're doing or what we're creating. Business architecture management is what we're doing. And what is the purpose of using or applying business architecture management? So basically, we provide information so companies and organizations can make data-driven decisions. And not those data-driven decisions which comes from controlling or any other thing, but based on the capabilities the organization have or should have. So let's talk about, so this is basically the first one, provides transparency for executives to make informed decisions. I will show you a diagram later on, which will bring some or shed some light into this rather prosa text. It identifies redundancies. Just imagine you have 4 SAP systems, and now for the SAP systems, they have redundancies, so we don't need to identify them. But we have commercial off the shelf, we have a software as a service, and something we develop ourselves. And if you have different product owner, maybe different organizational settings, and then when you apply business architecture management, you can identify these redundancies, black on white. So really in data, we see which process, which application is realizing which business capability. And so we can identify we have two systems here which are doing basically the same and just burning money. Which then also helps in reduction of our risks. Yeah. When we have an operational risk, for example, where we need to have some kind of a customer authentication or authorization. So any business capability which is crucial, or it's mission crucial for the company, and it's not realized, we see that. And we sometimes bridge the gap between business goals and IT implementation. We're working hard on it. We business architects love drawing boxes and arrows. We have a big tool which is containing all the elements just mentioned in the definition, and which we use to create a traceability from the strategy of the company to its execution in the IT. But what does it mean? Oh, I have a blue box on my screen. So there's a blue box around business architect. I define this white area as a blue box. Just some elements. As mentioned, strategy roadmap. What is the company's vision? What is the mission? The goals, the objectives, and these are refined by the business architect and drawn down as a box in the business architecture. We're talking about business modules, so bundled functionality or bundled business capabilities, which we observe from a business point of view. I'm stressing the word business quite often, not technical. We're talking about the business process, about the business service which is delivered, about the information, so the business objects, they're working closely together. What do we communicate about? What are the information which are sent into a business service in order to deliver the product and value delivery to the customer? Who is involved, obviously? So we are not rebuilding the HR, so the organizational structure. We are just rebuilding the roles and the functions and the business teams which are involved. And this all pays into the business capability map. Business capability map, it took me 1.5 years to explain what a business capability is in contrast to a business process or a business service to my boss. So he said, it's the same. No, it's not. Business capability is just an expression of what the company is able to do or should be able to do. It's not how, who, where, with what information and what system. That is not relevant. What we're doing here is really we're just an example from the insurance industry. A big insurance is saving or protecting their clients from the financial damages or consequences of a damage they have. And they're doing this for 400 years now. And 400 years ago, they had this business capability, but with another system. So they use gold coins in bags, or maybe just shaking someone's hands for a contract and not writing or red signature on a paper. Or now it's just a click of a button on the web page. The realization of this business capability changed over times, but it's the same business capability. And this is why we have this static, this really stable planning instrument in our business architecture on what we build our decision proposals for. So one approach could be that so it's a bit of process mapping, and on the bottom you see capability mapping. We talk to SMEs, so subject matter experts. We're doing system archaeology. So we're taking a look in the documentation. We're taking a look into the code. We do some mining. Here's Gen AI involved. So we're doing capability mining. We're doing process mining, which is there for capability mapping. And we use reference models. We do not need to start from scratch. So we use them as a basis, as a foundation for starting our capability map. And then what we're doing is we socialize, we refine the map, we establish ownerships in the company, and we embed them. So it's if we create a business capability map, which no one is responsible for, yeah, thanks. We wouldn't need to do that. Boxes and arrows. This one is from our case study. So we have a case which we're using in our trainings for a rental car company. You see 3 levels of capabilities. So the level 1 capabilities on the most left-hand side, and then level 2, level 3. And what we're doing in a capability heat mapping is as soon as we talk to the people, talk to the SMEs, we take a look into the process monitoring. We take a look into KPIs. We are classifying the realization of the heat map, of the capability, for example, by how well are they realized? How critical are they? Are they realized automatically or manual? So just some of the examples. And then we have this map, which is embedded in the organization in the best way. We have owners for the capabilities, and we have colors. And for example, this one here is the Bankverbindung, so the bank account details, bank account detail management, which is red. So you see which application, this is not on this diagram, but you see which application is really involved here. And the other KPIs we have, the other metrics, and we have identified bank account management as red, so we need to invest here, and which is usually done with the help of the PPR, project management, which is one of the other 2 circles we had on the earlier map. Some numbers. When you're doing capability-based planning and business architecture management, you can usually have 35% more projects with the same resources. It's more like an experience number, so there's no Gartner or McKinsey here. But the projects are shorter and in time. But not only with business architecture management, also with the proper synergy between business analysis, business architecture management, and project management. So, yeah, it's just a wall of text, sorry for that. I'm done, basically.